Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NFL First Look Strategy Show. Yes, where we sit down and take a foundational look at the Week 15 slate that will be upon us before we know it. Anyway, how you doing, guys? I'm Dave Loughran. That's Ben Rasa, and we're breaking it all down. 12-game slate. This is what, like, three quarterbacks north of 8K, a 54-point total game in a dome. Yeah, if you thought you had a lot of options last week, well, this week looks insane. And if we don't get any significant injury news, I'm not positive where the value is going to be coming from. We'll see. Anyway, Ben Rasa toughing this one out, came down with a little bug yesterday. Not sure if it was food poisoning, 12-hour bug, morning sickness, whatever it may be, you're feeling better now.
Yeah, I definitely feel better. My ribs. My ribs hurt, people. No, I caught something. I don't really know. Obviously, yesterday I felt terrible, and now I'm back in action. So I'm just gonna rest up today. But I always have a little energy to talk some football. Why not? We'll have some fun because it is a very interesting slate.
For what it's worth, I can't remember the last time you've missed a Tuesday first look show. I'm not sure you ever have. I've
No,
missed
I try
one.
not to like
I missed one.
ironically, I'm never sick. I never get sick. Last time I was really sick was when we flew home from California. But no, I just caught something and a little food poisoning action. We're gonna be all right. I got some saltines. I got some whatever this garbage is, and I'll be good to go.
Is it Pedialyte? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
That stuff works.
You know, it does. It does.
Just chug it is what you got to do.
You know, that's what I'm gonna do. Smart, so I could throw
That,
up on the show.
that's what I can't help. I can't help it. I just knock it back as quick as I can and assume that it's going to be like a magic potion, you know?
Mm.
Doesn't usually work that way. Anyway, I'm glad you could make it, man. Let's get into this. As always, Goblin of the Week. We're still front running Matt Eberflus for next year, right? Like nothing has changed at all in that respect.
No, no, he took the award and ran with it. Antonio Pierce has attempted to get in the mix, but honestly, it was a low key week for Goblins. I mean, I'm just gonna go out. Tennessee, I think, is a perpetual Goblin because they are just
I would say it's Jacksonville.
what? Why?
They went and won a game that just hurt their draft selection. They hurt their draft order, and it actually helped Tennessee. Like, look, I get you have to win games. You know what I mean? Like, he's still the coach. Actively tanking is still bad, but like, they had every chance to lose that game. Will Levis is just awful. So anyway, go ahead. I'm just thinking like Jacksonville put themselves in a pretty bad situation there.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, no doubt. I cannot believe how inept Tennessee's offense is. Obviously, on a personal level, having some Levis stacks with the right one-offs and just seeing they were inside the five twice, I believe, and they had nothing, no touchdowns. They threw the ball on three straight plays, and they didn't even throw it. Just like they would go play action, just throw it out of the back of the end zone. I don't understand what Tennessee is doing. They should not be this bad, and it's been that way all season.
It has. By the way, it's been a good season for me overall, but the last 2 weeks I've gotten demolished. I need a bounce back.
I got crushed this Sunday. It's not like you know this, but honestly, I feel pretty confident saying this. When the winning score is like 280, I tend to do really bad.
Me too. 100%, man. Same with even basketball. Whenever it's those insane scores, Alex Baker's the one that always said that he typically does so much. And Alex is one of the best, maybe the best DFS player ever. Like you talk about longevity of success. He's at least top 5, right?
Easy.
Easy. Yeah. He would always tell me when I'd ask him, he's like, I always do better on the lower scoring slates. And so do I, for sure. Last week I just didn't. Dude, I was cashing 2 in the power sweep, which would have at least put me to where I'm not zeroing out, you know? And I had Garendo, Kenneth Walker, and Juwan Jennings, and somehow still bubbled both of those.
Charbonnet. But yeah, no, there was a
What
lot
did
of
I, what did
guys.
I say?
You said Kenneth Walker. I
Kenneth
hope you
Walker.
didn't
Sorry,
play him.
Zach Charbonnet. Yeah, who had a massive game.
Oh, massive game. And yeah, it was just it was a very weird slate. Obviously, the Vikings double. And you just needed like I got the pieces. Jefferson really helped, and just still
But
wasn't enough.
you needed Addison with it, or you needed that you said on the Sunday deeper dive that Bills.
Yep.
You said this Bills Rams game could kill me. That was verbatim exactly what you said.
And it did. It killed me.
Me too.
Nakua is unbelievable, by the way. If there was an anti-Goblin of the week, that guy makes catches. I'm not like a huge. It's not that I don't like him, but he honestly makes catches that I think are one of ones.
He's like he's becoming the sideline king.
He's unbelievable. I don't really understand.
Me neither. But really, how many catches does he make on the sideline that shouldn't be actually possible from a physical standpoint?
Many.
Yeah. Oh, and I texted you last night, but you were dead to the world. I was winning everything in Showdown. Everything. Every contest. I ran the same 20 lineups in all of these. I was winning everything, chopping first. And that last CeeDee Lamb reception with like 50 seconds left knocked me down to a marginal profit. Showdown, man, it's pain. Imagine throwing someone into the wolves, like throw them into the water with Showdown, and you just like they just happen to run the Sims and they have a great lineup and they're looking at their winnings. They don't really understand the context or the format of everything, but they're looking at their winnings and they're just up thousands of dollars. And there's 50 seconds left in the game. And they end up potentially losing money.
The volatile nature of Showdown, it really is crazy. It's never over, and the swings are just brutal. So yeah, I woke up to that. I did not see I'm not joking. I missed the entire game. I did not see a second of the game.
By the way, I don't actually ever check how I'm doing in game.
Yeah.
Okay, I really don't. But I had gone in to the app because I wanted to see something for today's show. And I just so happened to see the winning. And I was like, because I assumed I was losing. Yep. And I looked, and that just makes it so if you never look, that's the trick. With Showdown specifically.
100%.
Showdown's different. If you never look with Showdown, you never know. And then I get people that DM me, they're like, dude, I saw you up there. I don't want to hear it.
I get those.
That's the worst. I saw you in first all night. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear it. I appreciate you. Like they're trying, they're being cool, but it's not helpful because 99% of the time, Ben, I didn't actually know. When I wake up or when I look at the end of the night, 100%. I just assume that whatever I had is what I had at the beginning, middle, and end.
It's healthier that way for sure. Those are dangerous sweats.
Yeah. I ended with the second highest lineup across everything. But guess what? Didn't matter because the first place lineup that came through was chopped a lot.
Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Cards ate my wallet. Said you just got to hope you're on the other side of that scenario every once in a while. Showdown is a beast. You're right. I've been on, and I'm not but I've been on this side 3 times this season. So
yeah, Saquon, yeah.
Yeah, we got time, right? We still got time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Brandon said a Showdown can turn someone into a full-blown alcoholic. Yeah, that's why just don't check. I'm telling you. Anyway, you want to hear my Goblin of the Week?
Please.
You're either going to love this or you're going to hate it. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They keep getting away with it.
Yeah, they do. But they do.
I'll never understand. I think I'm going to bet the money line on the Browns this week.
I mean, Kansas City is just it just shows how crazy the variance is because yes, there's probably something to it, but it's also just a lot of luck. That's just the reality of it. They're still a great team, and I bet Kansas City just at night, and they didn't cover. They won the game, obviously, but yeah, it's just they're running unsustainably hot. They're not even in the top 10 in point differential in the league.
I don't get it. Either way, I'm betting the Browns. I got them. I got him at 5.5-point home dogs. At this point, you can't bet the Chiefs spread at this point. Like, I don't know.
Oh, you can.
Anyway, anything else to recap before we dive into this?
Nothing else for me.
All right, let's go. Quarterbacks. By the way, if you guys don't mind, take a single second this morning. Look, just subtle reminder, atone for your sins. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Yes, we, of course, we watch and read and look at all of these. And, well, yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Quarterback, absolutely loaded this week. So where do we actually want to start at quarterback? Because I could give you a few guys out of the gate that are super expensive, but also could actually break the slate at their price point. Josh Allen in a 54-point total game against Detroit. 54-point total against Detroit. Lamar Jackson, $8,300, 14.5, 15 points in some spot favorite against the New York Giants. By the way, before last week, 2 weeks ago when they lost to the Eagles, the only other team that had beat Lamar Jackson was that super fluky Giants game where where he fumbled and they won in the late fourth quarter. But those two guys, like, we could get into Burrow if you wanted against Tennessee. You could get into Jaden Daniels. I'm not going to Jalen Hurts here, I don't think. But Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson up top are wild spots.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to ignore. Obviously, Josh Allen is just out of control. That was a mistake by me. I liked him, and then product of the slate, the value that opened up, I just did not get to him. And we saw what happened. So he's not going to be unowned this week. I can promise you that. Even if value doesn't open up, people will make room just because of what he's coming off. I think most people would agree with this. I think that's where I lean too. It's not to say Lamar can't have a big game, but I think Lamar is more likely to have a solid game en route to a comfortable win, where Josh Allen is, I mean, he's unstoppable.
He is Who do you like in this game? Buffalo's a 2.5-point dog.
I lean Detroit. They seem to be continuing to mask what's going on at defense. I didn't expect Buffalo, not that I liked them against the Rams, but I also thought they would win the game. So, home field is slipping away quickly if they can't get this win.
Yeah, well, I think I like the Bills a little bit here. Coming off that really tough loss in LA. I don't think it really matters. This game could go nuts.
It's expected to. I mean, we don't see totals really it's about as high as you're going to get.
Do you think that Josh Allen or Lamar are either viable or should be prioritized this week?
I mean, clearly viable. There's no doubt about that.
Of course.
Prioritized. Part of it will be the value that opens up, but just given that we're deep in the season, I'm going to bank that value will open up. So yeah, I'm going to stick with what I should have done last week. I will make room for Josh Allen this week.
I think I will too. Now, what about guys like Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow? I think that's tougher.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something for tournament value, low owned stacks, but I don't really see it, to be honest. I actually would, if Jalen Hurts is like 1% owned, I'd rather play him.
You would do it, huh? You would go to Hurts?
It would have to be legitimately like a sub 5% owned stack. Yeah.
I still think I have to put Josh Allen as the top dog here.
Same. I don't know how you don't, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, Lamar's super interesting this week, but I might be more incentivized to see if I can get to some Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Like, this might actually be the Henry week.
Yeah.
He might run wild.
It's dealer's choice for them of what they want to do. I mean, they should have their way. And that's why I'm just worried, again, it's not that Lamar can't break one, but why exactly are they going to have Lamar running around in a game that's not expected to be even remotely close?
Right, unless it is. But I don't actually know how it would be. And we don't know if it's going to be Drew Lock who's banged up or Tommy DeVito, but that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
So I think it's Josh Allen. I like your take on Hurts just in the event. Like, yes, if Allen and Lamar are actually popular, well, then then that might mean that Hurts is actually unowned.
That's what I mean. I don't know who in their right mind is going to play him because clearly there's a bunch of guys in the mid range that are in really good spots as well.
Let's talk about. I'll give you one in the mid range. I really don't hate going back to Tua again. I had some great Tua Tagovailoa lineups this week, and it just wasn't even close to being enough. Like it didn't on any other week. My Tua lineups, like my 185 point Tua lineups, would have been at the very least good, and they didn't even cash this week. But looking at this spot, first of all, Jalen Petrie has a partially torn pec. He's been like a legitimate standout safety for them. And then Azeez Al-Shaair, who's been very good, is also suspended. Now, that isn't the be-all, end-all, of course. But they do have some banged up pieces in the defense. And Tua is still not expensive. He's still not expensive. Tyreek Hill is still not hugely expensive. Jalen Waddle is not a crazy price point. Jonnu Smith's price hasn't really come up. All of these guys are pretty much just stagnant.
It's an easy stack, there's no doubt. And like you said, last week, the results got so out of control because of Josh Allen. A lot of quarterbacks had really nice outputs, and it just didn't feel like they did. Product of the slate. So I get going to Tua. I'm going to go to Bo Nix. He threw the ball 35 times against Cleveland. He's consistently throwing the ball 30 plus times. I don't fear the Colts pass defense whatsoever. They're over 7 yards allowed per pass attempt. He can run. He's at home. They've got a lot going on in a good way. They got a lot to play for. I think Bo Nix will again be in play this week.
What about Kyler?
Yeah, he's another one where I'm not saying he was great last week, but he felt actively terrible. And he didn't have a terrible game. He was just like, whatever.
They played, yeah, they were. I mean, that game was never actually competitive.
No, it wasn't. Kyler, yeah, I mean, I love his weapons. It just didn't click last week, and that was disappointing. Obviously, they should be in a much more advantageous position against New England at home.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to throw as much. It might be a James Conner spot, really.
That's what freaks me out a little bit.
All right, one more for you. How about on the other side of this Josh Allen game? What about Jared Goff against Buffalo?
I'm interested to see how popular he is because, of course, he's the attachment to the best game, but most people are going to want to go to Josh Allen. 41 attempts against Green Bay. I mean, that is what you need when you play Jared Goff, and he's got every weapon imaginable. So I'm gonna give him a yes, but I have him behind Tua and Nix.
Are you interested in Stroud at all? Because I truthfully don't know what to make of that guy, and he has regressed quite a bit. He looks more as like a rookie this year than he did as a rookie.
I honestly don't know what to do with Stroud. I think there's going to have to be some external factor that leads me to him because if it's all the same, I would rather just play the guys we talked about.
Give me Tua in the mid range.
Yeah, give me Bo Nix.
Okay. Low tier. All right. This actually starts to get fun, man. Because you have a guy like Will Levis who just totally squandered a good spot last week. He's 5K against that Cincinnati defense. And I'm going to tell you what, dude, I don't think I can pull the trigger.
I mean, last week it seemed like there was no matchup or situation where he could actually have a ceiling game. It was that poor of a performance.
And the worst part was like he had multiple opportunities on 4th and goal. They were just going for it.
Yeah.
On 4th and goal multiple times. And these passes weren't even close. By the way, multiple of them were to Calvin Ridley as well.
Of course they were.
I will say, though, I'll go right back to Calvin Ridley. The target share, the volume in this is good enough. I just don't feel like attaching Will Levis to it right now. Like, I'd rather just play Ridley.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with that. Uh, I'll go Drake May. Drake May just does his thing.
I had a feeling you like Drake May quite a bit.
Big fan of Drake May. He runs. He's got volume. They'll be trailing. I respect Arizona's defense, but it's still a good game set up for him.
3 years from now, who's the best quarterback in this class?
Oh, Drake May for sure.
I knew you were going to say that.
It could be Bo Nix, but Drake May.
You know where I'm at on this, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Bo Nix, but I like Drake May. All right, so we've got a couple things here. Sub 6K. You have Justin Herbert. This team doesn't have a run game right now, and it's really hurting them. Also, the absence of Ladd McConkey hurts. Will Dissly got hurt. I would stay far away from Justin Herbert if those guys are all out this week, right? Like they already can't run the football. But I would be very interested in Justin Herbert if he gets those guys back and healthy. Like if you told me that Ladd was back, if you told me that mostly Ladd, but Dissly helps as well because you're getting him at $3,700. Ladd McConkey is $6,300 and he's been heavily involved. Even a guy like Quentin Johnston's 5K. You could very much convince me that Justin Herbert is the best sub 6K play this week if he gets some reinforcements.
No doubt. He needs some help though. Because the offense is not flowing right now, and I don't feel the need to really go to a team who still has a defensive identity at heart. So keep an eye on that one. Sub 6K for Herbert is definitely something we want to revisit.
Okay, two more. One of them, they're both grows. But one of them's playing good football right now. The other's on a team who has actually blown 4 fourth quarter leads in their last 5 games. Aaron Rodgers and Bryce Young. Aaron Rodgers at 5,400 goes into a matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Although the season's long over for them. Who knows what they try and do if he even plays. Bryce Young has a home matchup against the Cowboys. Believe it or not, the Carolina Panthers, who took the Chiefs down to the wire, who took the Bucks to overtime, who took the Eagles down to the wire. They've got a spot against Dallas where they're actually favored at home.
They should be. They're playing good football. Their ceiling is capped because they're not a good football team, but they're getting the most out of their personnel, I'd say, at this point. I get it. I think I'd have more interest in Bryce Young over Rodgers just because he gives you certainly can give you more rushing and the attempts should be there. Honestly, though, I'm just not sure I really want to do that.
I'll be honest. I'd rather just jam Chuba Hubbard. Jam him this week.
He's getting like 35 touches a game, it feels like.
He played 97% of snaps last week. Jonathan Brooks went down with the re-tearing that ACL. That's horrible, by the way. That sucks. Really sucks for him. But truthfully, is there any way at 6,500 that you're getting away from Chuba Hubbard this week?
I mean, again, there's always something to be said about, but when you have volume to that degree, it's really hard to ignore because, yes, he could play bad. Anyone could play bad, though, but you feel virtually certain that you're going to have opportunity after opportunity, both in the passing game and the running game. So, yeah, he's going to be really popular, but I think he should be.
By the way, I told you something would go wrong with that. Everyone told me I was I told you something would go wrong with Alvin Kamara this week.
Yeah, that was a problem, a big problem. And it was, you were right. Kendry Miller took, he also ran very hot, like he made the most of his touches, but yeah, I don't really understand that whole situation. It was a big mess. But yeah, you were right about Kendry Miller.
He had 10 rushing attempts and that son of a bitch got into the end zone.
They all did.
What?
Every Isaiah Davis scored, Kendry Miller scored. There were backup guys scoring all over the place.
Yeah. Both of those timeshare situations, not timeshare, because Kamara still got a good amount of opportunities. But actually, I think it was like 17-10 on rushing attempts?
I don't know, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah. But you could see Isaiah Davis was gonna have a role. You could just tell from last week because he was their most productive player in the backfield. And he did. He had the same exact, if you look, it was essentially a 50-50 split with Braylon Allen. We'll get into that. Give me your top quarterback. Is it Drake May, you said?
Drake May.
All right. I'm tentatively going to go Justin Herbert, hoping that he gets Ladd back and Disley back. I think he'd be in a pretty good spot if that's the case. Running backs. Let's do it. And by the way, guys, all of the tools that you ever want, whether it's the Sims, we don't talk about the Sims as much on this show, Ben, because we don't have any updates yet. But, we talk about it frequently based on our exposures and everything and the deeper dive. Greg and I do the single lineup sim lineup building show tomorrow. Every Friday, we have the tournament strategy sim show that I think have helped you guys, have helped you guys a lot. And I hope the Sims and the tools have helped you guys. We had Willie Jenkins pop in yesterday, Ben, during the Showdown show. Gave us a big super chat, said, he's just withdrew $26,000 in the last week using the Sims, using the tools. And he told me this was the coolest part, that he had ended up getting the tools from just rocking the avatar and having like a small win, getting the free month that way. And then someone else chimed in and said that they just had a huge win by doing the link join with our sportsbook partners and just getting the month for free by signing up on one of the sports books. So that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Like, you're legitimately getting access to, I think, what many of us believe are the best tools in the industry that are going to make you a better DFS player, evolve your game to the style of play now, which is far more competitive with far less of an edge. And you're doing it effectively for free. Actually, you're getting paid to do it because you're getting bonus bets and match deposits on all of these sites and pick'em sites.
Just a great opportunity. Again, the beautiful thing, it's not just one partner and it's like, oh, I'm on there already or I don't have access. We have every book imaginable and there's all different offers. Find the one that works for you. So again, it's not just, oh, I'm doing this to get the tools. Yes, that's part of it. You get the bonuses, you get access to that book. You'll have opportunities to leverage that into even more success. So it's a great thing. We have it going on both on Odd Shopper and Stokastic right now for our various tools. So if you are interested, go and claim them. It's super simple. You have to follow the instructions, but we know so many people that are literally months too. Yeah. We're not talking 1 month. It's stacks. So you could set up yourself for the rest of basketball, the rest of football, just by claiming those offers.
Yeah, right. Like if you're like, I'm going to sign up for 6 of them, that's 6 months. Each month is $100 value if you were to pay out of pocket. Really, look, go to the first link in the description or the one Jordan put in chat if you're watching live. Click claim offer. That's the only way we can track. Click claim offer on any of them. And if you're in non-legal betting sites, guess what? All of the pick'em sites are there as well. They'll be legal, many of them in your state. Click claim offer, instantly verify yourself, deposit. Usually these minimum deposits are $5 or $10, and a lot of these sites give you $150 in bonus bets. And so you're actually making money with a lot of them, like Bet365 or FanDuel and BetMGM. After that, place a bet on whatever you want. The moment that bet settles, send us an email at support@stokastic.com. All the steps are right there if you don't remember me saying it now. With your first settled bet, a screenshot, and a screenshot of your welcome email. And if you did 1, let us know what subscription you want. If you did 4, let us know what months you want. It's that simple, man. So check it out. Never a better, easier way to get access to the tools and start to make better lineups. Not to mention, you've got Christmas football coming up. You got 2 Monday night games this week, Ben. You've got 2 Saturday slates coming up. Like, it's the best time to be involved in football DFS and have those tools. So check it out, man. Link in the description and in the chat. By the way, Blaine Jordan said over 21K in the past 2 weeks using the single lineup generator. Awesome. Devin said, I keep hearing about these wins, but the tools haven't been producing for me. What am I doing wrong? It depends. And feel free to reach out, jump in the Discord. It might be that you're doing nothing wrong. And it's just, there's a ton of volatility and variance in football. Use the post lineup simulator. See how your lineups are simming out after the fact. See what the best lineups are doing. That tool is so underutilized, man.
It's absolutely crucial because you might be doing something quote unquote wrong that you can fix and improve and give yourself a better chance. Or it's validation that, you know what, this is frustrating, but I'm on the right track. My lineups are grading out really well, and I'm going to have success eventually by just putting myself in good positions. Because the reality of the situation, I've always said this, I'm not alone in this. When you're playing tournaments, you want to put yourself in the best position to get lucky. You have to get lucky to win a giant tournament. But there are degrees of getting lucky. And you can put yourself in a position where you have a higher chance to have that perfect lineup versus other people. And that's all you really can control.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Anyway, jump in the Discord though. It comes with all of these subs. Make sure to ask questions. There's some super helpful people, and Greg does often. Greg's amazing with helping with that stuff, dude. Greg can help anybody with that. Running backs, Barkley. Barkley was my best fade last week, and it still didn't make a difference. But what does it matter, right? Like I got no Barkley, and intentionally, but it didn't matter. Watch, this is the week where he goes insane. You just know it's going to happen.
I could see someone on the Eagles going insane this week.
I know, and that is a really interesting team, right? Because no one's going to want to play him against the Steelers, especially after last week. You could just see Barkley going for 202 or something. You really could. He's
100%.
That offensive line is that good. But I like Henry this week. I want to get your thoughts on all of these guys, say like 75K and up. You have Gibbs against Buffalo. You have Alvin Kamara. Again, I still think you're going to see more and more Kendre Miller. Not that Kamara gets phased out, but that Miller just like Darren Rizzi's going to want to use this guy. Okay. Like we saw that last week. He had 10 carries, 11 looks. And then Joe Mixon against Miami. Devon Achane at 7,900. He got banged up. He would have seen more opportunities in that game, by the way, Ben. He had 10 carries in like the first 15 minutes of the game. And then Derrick Henry at 8,300.
Yeah, you have options here, no doubt. I am still interested in Kamara a little bit because you can look at two sides of it. Clearly, he's got some competition in that backfield. But if you told me that I'm going to get 22 opportunities, I can work with that at 77 and what's going to be not the ownership we saw last week. So not completely ruling him out. I think the interesting thing this week is the two 8K running backs, in my opinion. I don't know if they'll be completely lost. Saquon will be, but I might try to go get one of them. I think it's just a really unique situation, and I kind of like it. I love when my leverage point is my best player. That's something you don't get a lot, and that could be the case this week.
Man, if you play him, what is he, 9K?
Who? Barkley?
Yeah.
He's 8,600.
Oh, 86. Sorry. For some reason, I thought he was 9K. Last week, he was 9K.
Yeah, he was 9K last week.
If you play him, I can't wait to see what your lineups look like. Unless it's like a 1-for-1 with Henry because Henry's super popular. That would almost be more intriguing if Henry gets to be chalk as a 2-touchdown favorite and you pivot to like a 1% Barkley coming off a bad game.
Yeah, I love that idea. Like I said, there's...
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. Don't mind me.
One of those spots where like you see these Barkley games that you probably wouldn't have anticipated. And sure, a lot of his games have come against inferior opponents, but he can probably do it against anybody.
Yeah, none of that matters to me. Because you get the benefit. You get the ownership reward if you take the stand. So we'll see. It's not. Do I think you need to jam Saquon? Clearly not. That's like Gibbs is in a much better spot. I think everybody recognizes that, and I definitely plan to have some. But don't just throw Saquon out because he's still Saquon.
So who's your number one if we were to go to?
I'm going with Saquon.
Okay.
Why not?
I love it. The reason I love doing these shows with you is because you will take those type of stands and
what good is Gibbs is a great play, but everybody knows that.
Yeah. Then I'll do it. I'll go with the chalk just to kind of go to the
out.
Well, I'm not going to go Gibbs. I think Henry's going to be very popular this week.
Interesting. That makes me like Saquon even more.
Exactly. I'm with you there. But it doesn't mean that I won't have any Henry because we don't actually know what ownership's going to look like, right? So I'm just guessing. But I'll put Henry up there because when we do these tiers, it's also to give people an idea of where the good plays are at the beginning of the week, kind of ownership agnostic because we don't actually know. Usually we have a pretty good feel for it. But I'll go Henry. I don't want to sleep on Devon Achane though if Raheem Mostert's out again, Ben. He played 83% of snaps and he missed like a drive because he missed an ensuing drive or at least pieces of a drive because he got knocked around pretty bad and was in the medical tent on a hospital ball from Tua.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Achane's a great player. He's going to have his looks. He's a little pricey. I mean, he's basically at the top now. Probably should be, but I I'm not sure how much room I'll have because you can't play all these guys.
You can't. I'm just throwing it out there that 83% of snaps for this guy when he was actually banged up is pretty significant. I think he was concussed, by the way. He wobbled when he stood up into a teammate. Have you noticed though how many have you I'm assuming you have. I've watched a lot of Miami Dolphins lately because I've been getting overweight to Devon Achane and because people don't want to play him at this price point. Have you noticed how frequently they use him on those those short pass plays where they just have all the blockers set up and he coasts his way into the end zone inside the 20-yard line? I swear they do it every week. He has a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, I mean those are like the Tyreek plays. A lot of them are now designed for Achane.
Yeah. He has
It's just
6
like
receiving touchdowns on the year. He probably leads the team in receiving touchdowns.
probably him and Jonnu.
Yeah, Jonnu. It might be Jonnu. Jonnu has 5. No, or you know what? Tyreek probably has like 7 or 8. 5. No, it's isn't that crazy? I mean, like he's getting those opportunities. So give me Henry for now. I love that we're going Barkley and Henry here up top, but there's a lot of places you could go. Are you off of Kamara in this spot?
I mean, I don't know about completely off, but I do think this is another one where I need to see ownership. If he's really popular again, I don't think he will be. I'll have some reservations. If his popularity craters, then honestly, I will have some interest because he's still going to get 20 plus looks, in my opinion.
That's a good point. Kyle Heck says it's going to be Gibbs. I guess he's talking about ownership. I could see that for sure in that spot. It's always tough though, because Montgomery is so involved. Middle tier. I won't bury the lead, Ben. There's 5 guys I like, several that I like a lot, but there's no way I'm not going Chuba Hubbard at 6,500 here. There's just no way.
Can't go wrong with Chuba. Volume, matchup is fine. Price is right. I'll go Tony Pollard. I'm just going to stick with it. 21 carries, across the 100-yard mark. It's hard when your team doesn't score, but I still think they can have a lot of success. And he was a lone bright spot. So I don't want onslaughts of Tennessee, but I still will take pieces. You have a great range, though. You could go Cook, Pollard, Connor, and Hubbard, and I honestly would feel very comfortable with any of them.
And you're forgetting one.
Oh,
go ahead. I'll give you a chance. Take a gander.
Brian Robinson.
Oh, did you not say him either? Yeah, I think Brian Robinson's a great play as well.
Oh, there's more.
There's one more. Absolutely.
Ramondre.
No.
Tell me.
Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He has. He was good last night from, again, what I saw in the box score.
He was very good. And clearly Mike McCarthy's sticking to his guns here. Like, this is his guy.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott stinks. The only time is Elliott came in, Dowdle got a little bit shaken up on a play. But look at his targets look at his touches over the last 3 games. 19 attempts, 3 targets. I wish he was a little more involved in the passing game. 22 attempts, 3 targets, 18 attempts, 2 targets. That's 20 plus touches in 3 straight games. Now he's got a road tilt against Carolina. Like, I think Chuba and Dowdle both look great this week. I think Brian Robinson is a 7.5 point favorite against the Saints. Looks very good. You mentioned Pollard. You mentioned, who else? James Conner, right? All of those guys look great, but I'll stick with Chuba Hubbard here.
Yeah, I'll have lineups that have a couple of them, but I'll go with Tony Pollard.
I love this range, though.
Yeah, great range.
This might be a way to get to the Josh Allen lineups.
Yeah.
By the way, how bad was James Cook in a game where they scored 42 points?
I thought he got hurt, honestly, because I was like, there's no possible way.
And then I saw that Ray Davis did nothing either.
That game was out of control.
It really was. Who did anything? It must have been Ty Johnson then,
Shakir.
Right? No, all he had was 2 receptions. He had a touchdown, 55. Who did you say?
Shakir.
Right, but I'm saying 42 points, and none of the running backs had any volume at all.
No, Josh Allen did.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, that was nuts, man. Did you see how many DraftKings points he had?
It was a lot.
55.
Yeah, that's insane. That's almost impossible.
Yeah, 55. That he was solely responsible for 424 yards, 342 passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 10 for 82 rushing, 3 touchdowns, no fumbles. Like that's
college stats, truly.
what's a better quarterback performance than that you can remember? Is there one? I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but I can't. I don't know.
I mean, how much better can you get than that?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I was hoping StatMuse would have it, but no, I'd have to look. Someone will figure it out for us for sure. All right. Anyway, low tier at running back. Can we pull anything out? Well, there's one obvious one. If Bucky Irving doesn't play, Rachaad White's going to be very chalky. Even
He should be.
Yeah, even in a tough matchup, I don't see how he wouldn't be. Isaiah Davis too.
Yeah, most of what we're looking at here is timeshare stuff from Jacksonville. I'm not really in love with anything on the Chargers. The Chiefs are the same way. The Browns are the same way. I'll probably just go Rachaad White with the asterisk. I don't want to pay down a running back.
I don't either. There's too much in the mid range. Way too much. I'll do this. You know what I'll do? I'll go I'm gonna cheat. Let's cheat a little bit here just to give the people something. I'll go Chuba Hubbard mid range and then Rico Dowdle lower tier.
Okay. I'll go Rachaad White. Just put an asterisk.
All right, that works. Plus, Rachaad White and Dowdle are only $300 separated anyway.
Yeah,
but
it's close.
You look at the mid range, you have actual massive workloads for these guys. Pollard, Connor probably, Chuba Hubbard played almost 100% of snaps, and Brooks is out. Brian Robinson with no Austin Eckler. Who knows how much McNichols you're going to see. Rico Dowdle, massive workload. If Bucky Irving's out, Rachaad White's going to have a massive workload. You can comfortably live at 6,500 or 6,700 or lower and feel like you're locking up 20 opportunities. That's crazy.
You just don't see that a lot with those price points, which is going to entice a lot of people, rightfully so, to that range.
Yeah. All right, let's go wide receivers here. Jamar Chase is fucking animal.
Yeah, he's the best.
I mean, unbelievable performance again. 14 on 18 for 177 and 2 scores. He's always open. It's insane. Nico Collins is expensive. He's a great player. This is a spot that I'd be willing to target. I think, by the way, that game could evolve into a shootout. There's something about that game that appeals to me. 47-point total, Miami and Houston inside.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely intrigue on both sides of that game. I think most people will be enamored with St. Brown just because you're getting attachment to an incredible game itself.
Especially after seeing the Bills shootout last week.
Definitely. So, and Tyreek will be, all the guys except AJ Brown are going to be on people's lists.
So what does that mean for you and AJ? By the way, AJ Brown is the squeaky wheel right now in Philly.
He does. I'm certainly interested in AJ Brown this week. I think the good thing is it's not going to have to be an aggressive stand. Like, I don't need to go
10%
crazy.
AJ Brown and be 5 times over the field. Seriously.
Yeah. So I probably will. If I had to take one of the normal people, I think I would go probably Tyreek. You have HN, you have weapons, but Tyreek is still working his way back up, starting to find that end zone. 14 targets. It's low key. Again, his performance got lost on that slate. That would have been game over performance, but it was like the 10th best output last week.
That's a good point. Yeah. By the way, I'll never forget it. Well, it was only a couple of years ago. There was a week where if you didn't have AJ Brown, this is back in 2022, earlier in the year, if you didn't have AJ Brown, you weren't winning anything. And it was against the Steelers. And I still remember he was 4% owned, Ben. This was his first season with the Eagles. It was Hurts' first year starting with the Eagles. Brown had 6 for 156 and 3 against the
He's got
Steelers.
that in him.
And by the way, the Steelers defense was very good at the time. He does have it in him. What would you be comfortable getting on AJ Brown? For what it's worth, he's going to be low owned. I don't care what anybody says. We don't even have to speculate. Like it's a fact. AJ Brown on a day where you have Collins against Miami, Jamar Chase coming off a massive primetime game, Amon-Ra against the Browns or the Bills, Tyreek Hill in a high scoring game, even CeeDee Lamb, I think could be popular. There's no way AJ Brown is above, I'm going to say above 5%. I don't think he will be at all.
Neither do I.
So what would you be comfortable getting there?
Probably like 15-ish, 15 to 20%.
Okay.
Yeah. Healthy, but nothing. I just don't see the need to overhaul because, most likely he's not going to have a game that outscores all those guys.
I think if you got 15%, you'd be well above the field.
I'd agree.
Give me, who are you going top tier then?
I'm going Tyreek. I just like the spot for him. I'm just going to keep buying on him.
Totally understand that. I think I'd be with you there. Give me I kind of want to go Nico on the other side. I don't think he'll be that popular either.
No, of the guys, St. Brown I think will be the most popular and Chase probably following him.
And they're sandwiching him. Give me Nico, 8,100. I like this spot. Mid-tier. Devontae Adams coming off a nice game, 100-yard performance. T. Higgins was quiet. Our boy Cortland Sutton's at 6,600. Screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Calvin Ridley. I don't even care. 5,900. I still like him this week.
I'll go Cortland Sutton. I like him this week. If I like Knicks, their fates seem certainly tied together. 9 targets last week, 19 over the last 2. He's had 8 or more targets in 6 straight weeks. It's there for Sutton, and it's going to continue.
Do you think we could go back to Brian Thomas?
I don't. So that was a weird situation last week with him. He had like 0. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
He had like what at halftime it felt like, right?
Yeah. He had literally 0, and then he finished with double-digit targets. I don't really understand what happened.
He almost finished with double-digit receptions. He had 8 receptions.
Yeah, so I guess you can go right back to him, honestly. 22 targets in the last 2. I don't love the spot. I'd rather play Calvin Ridley, and I'd honestly rather play Jameson Williams. But, yeah, you could.
What about Jalen Waddle?
I mean, it'll be confined to Tua stacks.
Agreed.
But, yeah, he's just a weapon.
Last one in this range. And of course, we'll have shows all week, guys, and then Ben and I will be back Sunday. What do you make of Flowers here? Is it just prohibitive based on how they run that offense right now?
More yes than no. It's not like he can't be the one to catch the first couple touchdowns, but he has maybe the most likely chance of all the guys we just talked about to have like 6 targets this week.
Yeah. Yeah. While Henry has 25 carries.
Yeah. Like there's just too many Neighbors, Ridley, Thomas, even Waddle. Those guys, Harrison, there's too much volume next to him.
I got a good low tier player for you. Adam Thielen.
Okay.
And this is not just like, oh, Adam Thielen's coming off a good game. If you look back on last year, Adam Thielen was the only productive player in that offense in the passing game. He won the Millie for someone in like 3 of the first 5 weeks of the season. That's not an exaggeration. He's back. He's healthy. He made some absurd grabs against the Eagles. Xavier Legette stinks. Maybe he'll be better, but that guy stinks. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson knocked him into another dimension too. I
saw that.
Killed him. And then Legette had a ball that could have won the game for them, and he dropped it. It was a tough catch, but you got to grab it. What I'm getting at there is that how do you not just place all of your faith in Adam Thielen if you're Bryce Young against the Cowboys? Oh, and Overshawn is done for the year with a knee injury, another injury to that defense for Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly emerged as the guy, and you couldn't ask for a better security blanket for Bryce Young. So 54, and it's funny, there's just not that much down here. Like Amari Cooper, but we need to see the personnel. He had 14 targets against the Rams. He just didn't really do that much with them.
He didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I would say if you're talking this cheap, to me, Thielen with back-to-back 99 and 102-yard games, back-to-back double-digit target spots, going up against Dallas where they should be able to move the football, that would be my guy. You have Marvin Harrison, you have Amari Cooper, you might have Kincaid and Coleman back though, which muddies the water. You have Joshua Palmer, who if McConkey's out, might just be like a necessity against the pass funnel defense. And you have Tim Patrick at 4,300. I'm not sure. Are there any other guys that I'm missing down here that I didn't mention?
Not really. A lot of it, again, is we just don't know. Like Joshua Palmer is going to be a key component of the slate if the news breaks. He's going to be an afterthought for me if all these guys are ruled in. And so we just have to wait and see. I don't anticipate getting crazy with those guys. And Amari Cooper's in that same boat. We need to see who's in for the Bills.
Sorry, I was currently placing bets.
Good for you. Good. Yeah.
Makes it easy. Portfolio EV, baby. I got 36 bets in already. That's pretty good considering there's basically no basketball.
Yeah, there's only 2 games, right?
Yeah, I got some already in for tomorrow. Like Portfolio EV was popping up, populating Wednesday game lines for me that have changed dramatically since I got them in.
Oh yeah. This is the first day in a long time. I have not made a single bet today.
You don't feel good.
No.
You know that sucks because the remember I told you we weren't seeing as many hockey bets lately. I got like 12 hockey bets in on FanDuel today.
We're back, baby. Again, Portfolio EV. Go to OddsShopper, and even if you don't sign up, go read about what we're doing because I'm telling you right now, this is not going away, and you don't want to be left out where you're like, shit, I wish I knew about this. At least be informed, even if you're not ready to come on in. I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth it.
Yeah, man. Link in the description. If you guys seriously, the Discord's awesome, but the tool, the Portfolio EV tool, it's totally transformed the way all of us bet. Like Ben used to do it by hand, essentially a market-based top-down approach. You're identifying sharp sources, getting the true odds, and hammering all of the bad books, all of the bad lines, odds on all of on all of the books. You have the mass entry tool. You can just load them up and get down. I woke up this morning, got 10 in on DraftKings right away. One click over. It's just we have the mass entry on mobile. So every bet I place is straight from my phone, no matter where I am. I have notifications turned on. Walking the dog this morning. Boom. Got bets in walking the dog. This like that. It is so easy. The total time commitment for me to get over 100 bets every day, all grinding small edges on plus EV spots that compound into big profits over time as you continue to reinvest your bankroll. Over 100 bets takes me less than 30-minute time commitment every day. Doesn't even affect my daily life. You don't have to do the research anymore. You don't have to dig into all of that stuff anymore. It's just, it's awesome. Just make sure you're on as many books as possible. You remove your bias and start betting. If you want to join, like Ben said, even if you just wanted to poke around and see what we've got going on over there, because this is a DFS show, but we spend a ton of time on the sports betting stuff and in sports betting in general. That link down there for OddsShopper Portfolio EV, man, I think you guys will really love it. Plus, you look what Greg has done with a $100 bankroll, and that should tell you all you need to know about whether or not this stuff works for real. Anyway, link down there. Hit us up if you have questions too. Very happy to answer any questions you have about Portfolio EV. Tight ends. By the way, give me Thielen there. Who did you go with? Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I'll go with Amari Cooper.
Amari. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Marvin Harrison's getting to that price point now where I might really need to consider him.
Me too. Me too.
Against the Patriots. I like him this week. Him and Thielen for me. Trey McBride is up top. Another scoreless game. Another one. Just incredible. But 14 targets again. This guy has 41 targets over his last 3 games. I just I don't see the only thing that I don't love about McBride this week is they might be able to play with a neutral to positive game script. And that scares me a little bit because they've been playing from behind in 3 straight.
Scares me a little bit too, but you know what? The touchdown equity will increase as
True.
the volume
True.
decreases. He's 6K. It's all systems go for McBride. It's not like you have to play him, but he's clearly firmly in play.
All right. What about, because I think Njoku is viable, or I'm sorry, I think Jonnu is viable. But what about the fact that Njoku quietly has 30 targets over the last 2 games?
I mean, yeah, it's not even a big target share. Jameis just throws the ball that much. He's got 3 touchdowns as well, so he gives them chances. I have him behind McBride, but yes, Njoku is going to continue to be very busy just because of the way the Browns have transformed their offense.
So you're going McBride up top, north of
I am.
5K, right? All right. I'm I'm gonna actually go with David Njoku here. The Chiefs have really been gutted by tight ends. Like that's been their biggest weakness all season long. And I hate to, kind of just continue to push that narrative forward if it was baseless, but it's not. Like they're the only team to cough up more than 1,000 yards to tight ends this season. And by the way, now every team has played 13 games. So we just have a clean slate there. 86 receptions, highest in the league, 110 targets, highest in the league. I like Njoku this week. I'll go right back there. Give me David Njoku at the top tier. Who do you want in the mid range, 4K range?
Um, I think that even though it's always frustrating, you can always make room for the Lions.
I knew it. I knew it.
I'm gonna go though. I want to go to Evan Ingram so badly. I just don't know if I can do it.
Do it, because I'll go Sam Laporta
All
here.
right, I'm gonna go with Evan Ingram. I know it hasn't been great, and I know that the offense isn't functioning at the highest level, but it's not the worst matchup in the world. I know the Jets, but the Jets have been regressing over and over. He still gets healthy volume. They probably are trailing. He'll have red zone looks. I think Evan Ingram could be okay in the 4K range that I don't really like.
That's fair. I was gonna go Sam Laporta, but I've changed my mind. I
Okay.
think Hunter Henry looks great here.
Yeah, if Bucky's out, Otten is also going to solidify more work.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, that's a good one. But Hunter Henry is quietly just getting a lot of work. You look at the target share or the target 84989, and I'm just giving you basic numbers here, but like this guy is actually very involved and he hasn't scored since week 6. Arizona's secondary is nothing to be afraid of. I'll go Hunter Henry, Ben. 4,300 actually looks pretty good to me. I think the Sims are going to like him this week too.
Okay. I have no problem with that. I like Drake May, so
In the low tier, there really is not much here. I think the only guy that I could go to might be like Juwan Johnson.
yeah, that's the name that stood out to me.
Maybe Ferguson.
Dalton Schultz.
Okay. Maybe Jake Ferguson too, but I'll by default go Jake Ferguson. I don't think I'm going to be living in the low tier of tight end this week.
I don't think I will be either. Disley's yeah. There's not much to really say here. Good old Stone Smart.
That actually might be a play if Disley's out.
Yeah, Disley has to be out, but he could be in there.
He made some great grabs.
Seems to be a player.
All right. I know you got to get some sleep. I appreciate you doing
apologies for just looking and just I'm doing the best I can here, friends.
You're good. And I'm doing the best I can to move this one along. Good show though. Look, we're getting through it.
Yeah.
And appreciate you guys hanging out. By the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, go ahead. A tone this morning. See what we can do here. Maybe we get it over 100. Unlikely. We're at 68, but we'll see. We'll see. Watching after the fact, show us some love. It's appreciated. Helps us feed the algorithm. My defense under 3K is going to be the Browns at 2,200. I will bottom this out. I don't buy the Chiefs offense right now is completely spinning their wheels, Ben. And no one's going to play the Browns defense. Not that I care, but they're so cheap and they're good at home.
Great, great option. I'll go the Jaguars.
Okay. What are they priced at?
2,700.
All right. Against the Jets. Yeah, I don't hate
Yeah,
it.
at home against the Jets. I can always get down with that.
Their defense actually has been playing better too.
It's
So
not their fault. They're doing
No.
their part.
they actually are. I don't hate it. All right. Hey, appreciate you guys. As always, thank you for hanging out. Have a great rest of the day. You got NBA Deeper Dive and Live Before Lock tonight. Greg and I will be back tomorrow morning, single lineup sim show. What do you have going on here and on the Odd Shopper channel that our friends can check out, which I would highly recommend they do?
Yeah, honestly, you'll just mostly over there with college football. Bowl season will be upon us. I'll probably be a little out of commission today, but I'll still be in tails. And that's the beautiful thing. That's always something. If you haven't seen what we've got going on, it's just that marketplace to get more access. And although I don't have a video out today, I'll still have plenty of soccer content out, NBA content, college basketball, whatever the hell's going on. We can make some value and have some fun. So, I encourage everyone to go check out what we've got because we just want you as part of the Stokastic family, whether it's DFS or we're betting.
Yeah, man. And my picks for every game over on the Odd Shopper channel, 16 this week. From here on out, no more buys. That'll be out tonight. Come check it out. Probably like 6 or 7 Eastern or something around that time. All the picks for every game. Get you in, get you out with some good spots to hit this week before the lines move. Anyway, we'll see you guys back here for the next one. Thanks. Peace.